police officers needing to go in and do an assessment to see who the primary aggressor is, and then making decisions about what to do with that person. It's important for them to be mindful that there are children present, and that the children have reactions to what it is that they see. And I think going into an environment, trying to certainly be safe themselves, police officers being safe themselves, and certainly going in with the responsibility to address what's there, but also going in with the knowledge that there are children who are watching.
I did not say it! Don't scare me! Scare you! How will you? Stop! Scare me! Stop it! Don't touch me! I won't leave you! Don't scare me! Scare you!
I mean, if there's one message that I could give to the police officers, it would be to pay attention to the hidden victims of violence, because quite often when police officers do make the visits on such calls, children often still remain hidden and neglected victims of violence.
I would like police to be aware that children are present in the home when they come in on an adult domestic assault call. I'd like them to think about the fear that the children may have for themselves, as well as the fear that children may have for their mother's well-being, or the victim of the adult victim's well-being. And many children will be trying to take care of their mother. Many will be afraid of what's going to happen to their mother. They may be afraid as well of what's going to happen to the male perpetrator if he's a male that's close to them, if he's their father or a long-term live-in boyfriend. So I think the children will have a lot of concerns, and I hope that a police officer would be sensitive to all of those different concerns that a child might have when the police are intervening, when somebody's being arrested, somebody else may be going to a shelter or a hospital, and the children will have a lot of fears, and there are a lot of unknowns then in their lives.
Child exposure to domestic violence is really the worst form of violence, if you will, and I'm comparing that to community violence or other sorts of violence. And I think it's important that police officers know that for kids who live with domestic violence, there may be no refuge for these children, because kids turn to parents for refuge. But if one parent is the terrified victim and the other parent is the perpetrator, the children have no one to turn to for emotional support.
You have to be able to legitimately address all of the other issues that are being involved in a domestic violence dispute. Any child protection concerns, victim safety, and follow-up with the victim.
Until we send a clear message that to victims that there's a unified effort, that everybody is on the same sheet of music, everybody's concerned about you and your children's safety. Until we do that, victims are not going to call us because they don't trust us. Because what we're asking a victim to do when they call and report domestic violence is we're asking them, take your life and put it in our hands. Not only for that moment, but for days and days and months and sometimes years after that. If they don't trust us, then they're not going to call us, and I don't blame them.
I think collaboration is really an important piece in trying to address this issue. I think no one system can work, alone with this issue. It's a big disease in the society, and I think we need to work collaboratively to address issues like that, and that's the best way we can serve the needs of the child.
We've learned, I think, many things in our collaboration with police officers, but the bottom line is about the ways that it is important to work together on behalf of families, that we see the same families, we have common goals for the families, so our increased communication helps us work together more effectively.
I believe that the primary goal has got to be intervention. We've got to get involved in a positive way.
You just walk away with a feeling of, boy, something bad is about to happen here if I don't take the right steps. And those are the ones that you end up putting a little more into.
We really do have the power to save a person's life. We really underestimate our power